The Sentinel is known to be reliable, fearless, disciplined, consistent, courageous, motivated, and skillful.
So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
All these qualities start from the mind. Your mind can be your worst enemy or your most powerful weapon.
The world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Is this the dagger?
Learn how to achieve greatness and tap into the Sentinel mindset.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
What a wonderful day it is today. Today, what you're looking at are three, what?
It's a reverse Oreo cookie.
Yeah, it is. Okay, it's our producer Phil in the back. Okay, so today is a very special day because we have three, I'm gonna call them top players. Top players. Today is a very special day because we are doing testing for our event protection specialist, a brand new position that we posted. And we've had a lot of people apply, but once people recognized what they actually have to do, they started to drop off. Okay, they started to drop off because at the end of the day, it's a lot of times that's human nature. The hard things people walk away from. But today we saw some challenging happen. Okay, and before we get any further, I'd like to introduce Ben, Beata, and Chris as our guests, and they actually today were instrumental in facilitating the testing. So let's start off right now with Ben, since the mic is closest to you. Okay, we saw today many individuals try out for these sessions. What exactly do you think we're doing this for? What is the purpose of the testing?
A lot of it's to do with I like to see commitment.
Okay.
The effort, the fact that they turn up. Obviously we're taking everything into account as well, like how early they turn up, like different things. But we're testing their ability, their physical fitness first of all, their mental toughness, their effort to see if they want to push themselves, because that's something they have to instill within themselves. We can't instill that in them. They have to be able to push themselves, and then also to kind of create that sort of like difficult environment when they're out of breath or they're not thinking properly, and then push them straight into a scenario.
Right.
It's a lot more difficult for them to start thinking and then make decisions, or they make different decisions than they would if they had time to think about it.
Okay.
Especially they're out of breath as well. They have to try catch their breathing. And I always like the saying of, if we can perform at our worst, then we can definitely perform at our best. We train at our worst so we can perform at our best.
Okay, that's good. I like to hear. Now, for a lot of people listening, the physical involved basically a run that they had to do under a certain amount of minutes. How long was that run if you're measuring distance?
It was 3/4 of a mile.
3/4 of a mile, and they had to do it in how long?
It was best effort. So
best effort.
3/4 of a mile, and then pretty much the time. We would measure the time.
Yes.
And then we'll put them in a different sort of grading system after that.
Okay, and then they had to do resistance, basically, which would be push-ups.
Yeah, so they would come up straight from that. We would bring them in straight up through the stairs.
Yes.
And then straight into a minute of burpees.
Yes.
Followed by a minute of sit-ups, followed by a minute of press-ups.
Yep.
And then at that point, Chris would then take over and bring them into the scenarios like right away.
Okay, we're going to go into that in a very, very short bit.
Yeah.
So, Beata. Okay, first of all, guys, I want you to bring the mic about an inch away from your face when you're talking, because I need to hear these beautiful voices that we have here, these angelic British voices. Irish. Okay, Beata, tell us about mindset right now. Where do you think the mindset should be for someone to truly achieve the goal and pass?
You have to want it.
Okay.
Bottom line. You have to be able to show that under stress inoculation, you can pull through, you can make the right judgment call, you can safely remove a patron, or lead your team, or the mindset has to be that you have to give it all you got to represent, right?
Okay.
Being Sentinel elite team,
yes.
We are above the norm.
Okay.
So we expect everything from physical to mental. We're going to stress you physically and mentally and emotionally, right? And see how you come out and succeed.
Okay, that's good. Now let me ask you this. Do you think that the mindset can push you to do an extra push-up, an extra lap?
It's when you think you cannot, when you push yourself to go that one extra, that's when you have that success.
Okay.
And then you might find that you can do two.
Great.
That's exactly what we're looking for.
Okay.
That little push of like when you're struggling
Yes.
and you just keep going.
Right.
That's what you're looking for.
Not to
You're
give
looking
up.
for the effort, right?
Yeah.
To be able to give up and keep going, push yourself.
Beautiful. Okay, Chris. Let's get that mic near you. So, Chris, your portion was heavily around the scenario piece. Okay, and what people don't also know is that what you're going to see is that Beata was the unruly patron refusing to leave.
Very
okay.
unruly.
Yes. Yes. Tell me, Chris, in the scenarios, what are you looking for when we're doing these scenarios?
So we don't want to see people going in these situations hot, heavy, ready to fight, because that's not what we want. We want control, and why they have to go into these situations straight after the physical, what Ben's put them through, is because heart's pumping, adrenaline is at a real high, and then it's how they can retain the information that's been given to them, and they can execute it calmly and efficiently.
Okay.
We don't want people, especially going into this position, because it's an elite position. This
Right.
isn't, it's very attractive because of the salary.
Yes.
So, like Dragon covered on the previous podcast about the entitlement.
Yes.
So a lot of people think they probably should be owed this position because they've been with Sentinel for a while,
Right.
or they can bring something to the table. We need to see that. They need to be different. They have to be extra. This isn't a low-key event
Okay.
or a low-key department.
Yes.
This is going to be one of Sentinel's main elite divisions.
Yes.
So we have to have the best.
Okay.
And you have to show us the best. Now, having said that, what Ben was saying, and Beata also, it's all a mindset.
Okay.
It's all mental. So the guy who can only do 4 push-ups compared to the guy who can do 10 and stops at 10, the guy can do 4, but if I see that he could only be capable of 2 and he's pushed himself to the 4, this is the type we want to see. It's not about how many push-ups you can do, it's how you just keep going
Right.
and how you motivate yourself. We want to see that drive, not the entitlement. No one's owed anything. You have to show us that you want it, and you have to be calm, collected, and it's all about, there's so many factors.
Okay. Now, one of the things, guys, that we always talk about is shepherd people to greatness. And one of the things that I liked that I saw that you guys were doing, and specifically when somebody was engaged in the scenario, is that you were giving them coaching instructions to kind of help move the scenario along.
So I'm in your ear. Yeah. Okay. Use your radio. Back up. Okay, I'm going to need some assistance. Think. Be calm. All right. Your heart rate's going. Control that adrenaline. Okay. She's not moving. Okay. You don't want to take her by yourself. Never, ever, ever try and take a situation by yourself unless you have no choice and she's fighting and you have to go in there and move some other way. Calm. Okay. Think. Okay, I'm going to need some backup here. Another person will come along. Okay. At this stage, there's 2 of you. Then the other person can take over. You can take a step back because then she may respond better to the other person. All right. If still she's not moving, okay, well she's leaving because the management wants also. Ask questions.
Okay.
Why does she want to leave? If I'm calling you, in reality, I'm going to be like, Solar, she needs to leave. She's doing cocaine in the toilets. That's why she's leaving. I won't just say a manager wants her to leave, but it's entitled you to ask questions. Why she got to go? Just be like, okay, I'm on my way. What's the reason? Because you were saying her she's caused a disturbance, but she could have been doing coke in the toilets. She could have maybe not been spilling drinks. You don't know. Don't accuse her of something that you don't know about, because that's going to escalate your whole situation. All right. So, where you were, start that again after what I told you.
How did you find, in your opinion, people were taking that direction? Were they taking that advice? Did you find that there was a little bit of resistance?
No, it was well received.
Okay.
I think the main, as soon as I would say stop a scenario and then
Yes.
give them the feedback, they already knew it.
Right.
But it was because they didn't control their adrenaline or their mind.
Right.
That was why they sort of got carried away and rushed in too hot, tried to get too physical, or thought they had to be the cowboy or the hero by themselves.
Yes.
It is something that you have to train yourself to do. So when you're dealing with certain situations, now it comes with practice as well. We've all dealt with a lot of high risk situations that get your adrenaline pumping, like through the years in all our careers. But it's
Yes.
how you have to train your mind. It's not something really you can learn overnight, but it's train, so that when it does happen, it's not human instinct, natural, just kicks in.
Okay. Well, one thing, guys, to understand is that Chris, Ben, and Beata are not only in our management level department, but they're also in protection, in our close protection division. What I want you guys to do to close this session off is, let's start off with you, Ben. Mm-hmm. And the same question will apply to you, Beata, and Chris, is if you're going to give anybody advice that's listening in the company or outside that wants to be part of what we do, what would you say are things that you either need to have coming in or things that you should be working on to prepare yourself to come in to set yourself for success?
Definitely willing to learn. 100%. Like off everybody, even though, as you said, we're like say a management role, we still learn things off new guards coming in. Everyone has different experiences, different life experiences, different job experiences. It all depends, but being able to learn and be willing to learn is an important asset, and also be humble, right? You know, we're all the same at a human level, and you know we want to better improve ourselves and each other, so we can grow as a company, as a person, as a team, everything. You know.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, nice. Beata, how about yourself? Same question.
Well, we always preach we have to be humble and we have to be hardworking. We have to be able to stand above the rest. You have to be able to show how much you want to be a part of. This is not a place where you come to do your hourly work. It's a place where you want to grow. We have to, when we approach people, we approach them with dignity, right? We have to be effective. The whole idea about integrity, right? Doing the right thing when nobody's watching. That's a very important. Just knowing that being in security, you are displaying an image, right? And whatever you do reflects not only on yourself, but on your colleagues, on the company itself. And the only way to grow is to set yourself apart from the everyday norm.
Nice.
So,
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris.
Yeah, basically just touch on what the guys have said. Leave the ego at the door. None of us are owed anything. You have to start somewhere, and when you come in here, be receptive to all feedback. Some of it's not always going to be the best, but in order to grow, you have to push yourself and be open to any challenge that's really put in front of you. So yeah, that would be the main thing.
Okay. I like it. Again, guys, you've been a stand-up. I appreciate the work that you guys are doing. I appreciate that you are leading and you're doing what we say all the time, shepherding people to greatness. We're going to be diving in a little bit more later on into depth of like just more of the stories, the origins of you guys. You know what I mean? Let's find out the deep, dark secrets. You know what I mean?
Very dark.
No, but for now,
This is getting shaky now.
for now, we got some testing to do. So let's continue. And any closing words or
No.
nobody? Something?
Can we get
Well,
the
very
hands,
shy,
hands
yeah.
on the logo in the middle?
Yeah. We're all very shy and then we change when we get out.
Should we do that? All right, everybody, hands in.
There we go.
Hands in. Oh, go team! All right, all right, that's it, guys.
Perfect.
This podcast is brought to you by Executive Protection Lifestyle Canada. Make sure to drop by next week and don't forget to subscribe.